Hey, how's it going, everyone? Bass here. So today I have the final injury update for the Green Bay Packers versus Arizona Cardinals Thursday night football game tomorrow. So let's get into it. So starting with the Green Bay Packers injury report, we have 4 full participants with no injury designation to start. Long snapper Hunter Bradley. Kenny Clark was upgraded to full today in practice. So that he has no injury designation. Josiah DeGuara was full participant all week. And then also Rasul Douglas was a full participant all week with that shoulder injury. So they are all 4 going to play. And then the first injury designation on this list is tackle Dennis Kelly, who hasn't played since week 4 and really hasn't had any offensive snaps at all this year. Definitely a questionable signing in the offseason, but he is doubtful to play in this game. Next up on this list is Kevin King, who's questionable again this week with the shoulder, and now he added a back injury. Kevin King just always seems to have different types of injuries. He is questionable again after leaving that Week 5 game against Cincinnati with that shoulder injury. Rasul Douglas has been taking his place at cornerback 2 opposite Eric Stokes and has been playing very well, but it would be still helpful to get DBs back because it's such a thin DB room, and even Isaac Yadam's starting to get some snaps, which we don't want to see. I'd much rather see Kevin King out there, so definitely be some help if Kevin King does return. Now, saying that, if Kevin King does return, I still want to see Rasul Douglas over him there at cornerback 2. Dean Lowry is also upgraded to a full participant with that ankle injury on Wednesday, and he has no injury designation. Then moving on to the bottom of the list, we have Preston Smith, who is also questionable again, just like he was last week with that oblique injury. He almost went last week, almost kept up his streak of 103 games, never missed a game in his career, but obviously was, missed last week against Washington, his former team. I thought he's going to play. He didn't. So he's still questionable this game, has a chance to play, but the Packers did sign Whitney Merciless for some edge depth there, and he played last week as well. But this would still be a huge boost to their pass rushing game and their run defense game because Preston Smith is actually the number 1 graded run defender for all edge rushers in the NFL. Now moving on to the Arizona injury report. First up, we have Daryl Daniels here is questionable with that hamstring injury. He is their 3rd string tight end. And then we have Max Garcia, their starting center, with an Achilles injury. He did not participate all week, and he is questionable. Max Harlow would take a spot at center if the Garcia didn't go. Arizona linebacker Jordan Hicks was a full participant upgrade Wednesday as well. He has no injury destination, so he will play in this game. And the first real big one here is Deandre Hopkins, who hasn't practiced all week with that hamstring. He is questionable to go. Hamstrings are such a weird injury. They're probably going to test him out game time and see how he feels. DeAndre Hopkins hasn't missed a game all year and obviously is such a great wide receiver, so it would be a huge blow if he weren't able to go. My guess is he will go, but like I said, hamstrings are just such weird injuries, so definitely something to monitor. He is questionable for tomorrow. Another linebacker, Devon Canard, was upgraded also to full participant, just like Jordan Hicks. He has no injury designation. He will go. Rashard Lawrence, defensive lineman with a calf injury, is questionable. He did not participate all week as well. Lawrence is currently their starting nose tackle, with Corey Peters still being on the COVID list. The next 3 on the Arizona injury list are all full participants and have no injury designation. Kyler Murray, Isaiah Simmons, and Tanner Vallejo, they will all play tomorrow. And last but definitely not least, J.J. Watt, the player we all wanted in the offseason, is officially out with the shoulder injury. He did not practice all week, and this is a huge blow for Arizona. J.J. Watt has led this team in pressures, hits, and hurries, and he's been one of the top interior defensive linemen all year. On an already pretty bad Arizona run defense, this definitely does not help at all. Look for the Packers to definitely run the ball tomorrow. But Arizona does get Chandler Jones and Zach Allen back off the COVID list for this game, and we know how disruptive Chandler Jones can be. So it's kind of an eye for an eye in that situation, but J.J. Watt being out is still such a huge blow for that defense. And as I said earlier, nose tackle Corey Peters, who's usually their starter, is still out on that COVID list. So overall, both teams are definitely banged up for this game, this short week. I would say Green Bay's definitely the more banged up team out of the 2, without Devonta Adams and Allen Lazard due to COVID, and then as well as their defensive coordinator, Joe Barry, also due to COVID. So they're definitely the more banged up team. It's going to be a tough game for the Green Bay Packers. Like I said, a short week traveling down to Arizona. Matt LaFleur is definitely going to have to cook up something in order to get a win here in Arizona. Arizona is the last undefeated team. Packers also being 6-1, probably the 2 remaining best teams in the NFL. It should be a good game regardless. But that about does it for today's injury news. Please leave a like down below. It supports my channel a lot. And on that note, I'll catch you on the next one. As always, go Pack Go.